Hey guys, this is Matt from Legion. We announced a couple months ago that we were going to do a reunion show in Nashville, Tennessee at the Exit Inn on September 30th. And just wanted to give you some details about that show. This show is going to be a little bit different. A friend of ours went through a pretty life-changing experience several months ago, and it was pretty traumatic. And we as a band decided it was the right thing for us to do a fundraiser and help him out. I'm going to let Jon and Allie tell their story, and I would encourage you to watch the next few minutes of this video so you can understand what they are experiencing and went through. But Jon is a big part of Legion and was there from the beginning. Jon and I worked on the very first record together and on songs like Reality and Insomniac's Dream and Full Circle, and we just feel like we needed to do this for our brother. So there's going to be a website attached to this video, and that's going to be a site where you can give. That's where the pre-sale tickets to the show will be. And we would just ask, if you're able to, just give. Whatever it is, if it's $5, $10, if you're able to give more than that, that would be awesome. But we appreciate this. We look forward to seeing you in September and appreciate your time. Thanks.
That's my boy. That's my good boy. Getting stronger. Okay.
We had a very boring pregnancy up until April 23rd, kind of when everything took a giant change from the tests and everything that we had and the results. So we had no idea that this was going to happen. It was all undiagnosed.
It was actually early morning, around 7 a.m. I woke to a loud thump that didn't seem right to me, so I went upstairs and found my wife seizing on the bathroom floor upstairs. I was able to get her on her side and call 911, and that was a little before 8, and by about 9:15 we were prepped and ready to go for an emergency C-section. And to this day, it still haunts me how close we were to losing both of them, because we were minutes away. I didn't know that then, but we found out sometime later. We didn't get to hold him, we didn't get to see him. The first time we really got to see him was when he was in transport from Akron General to the NICU at Akron Children's. And that's when you saw him for the first time, but again, she wasn't very coherent, and I don't think she realized the gravity of the situation. So it was heartbreaking to watch that. After several hours in the Akron Children's NICU and watching a cardiology team work on him, I kind of had a bad feeling, and sure enough, they pulled me aside and said that, you know, he had a major heart defect, and that he had transposition of the great arteries, and he needed to go now. So my next conversation was with a surgeon and a pilot, and they said that he needed to go now, and
You couldn't go with them?
I asked if I could go with him, and they said absolutely not.
It was about 4 days after he was born, I was able to actually get up to the hospital and meet him in a state where I was actually with it, which was a lot of emotion to process, especially as I was coming off of all the medication. It was definitely a wave of everything that comes over you as you're trying to understand everything that's going on. So we found out that our job was just to fatten him up, just to get ready to open up his little body and have him on a heart bypass machine, which is something that's you never want to hear.
Yes, he was incredibly fragile and just so very tiny, but he was a fighter from the start. You could tell he had spirit to just to drive through so much in so little time. He was born 8 weeks early, but really his development was closer to 10 weeks early.
Because of my preeclampsia, he had stopped
So
growing.
not only did he have a major heart defect, but his lungs were also in terrible shape. So that was two major things that he had to overcome just to make it through the first part.
When they told me the surgery was scheduled, you instantly think worst case scenario. You know you're working with, luckily we had one of the best surgeons, literally in the heart healthcare field, to work on him. But no one wants their baby's heart stopped and on a bypass machine, so there was never a moment I was gonna be ready for it.
You feel completely helpless, you know, like you give your life to get this little man, you know, his health, and you can't do it. So in all, our little Jon Chase III was in the hospital for 67 days. He was born there and raised there, and we've had him home for about 2 weeks now, and we couldn't be happier.
So this is the little man's room. He's getting an EEG right now. This is his world. It's pretty crazy. So back there. He's doing really good.